Found a contusion on Izzy's arm, probably from a fight. Brownish yellow says it's 3 days old.
Ah, but yellowish brown says 2 days old.
Well, I got brownish yellow. How'd you get yellowish brown?
I took a picture, I analyzed the pixels, created a color histogram, 2.5, so I was rounding down.
I actually was rounding up.
Come on. I'm still working on our signature bro shake, so.
Bruises didn't kill our victim. Did you find anything else?
Both of Izzy's eyeballs were abnormally firm to the touch.
Yeah, when we cut them open to find the vitreous humor, we found that the eye jelly was coagulated.
Well, keep me posted. I'm off to talk to Sylvester.
Oh, well, I can go with you. Maybe he got in a fight with Izzy.
Well, don't you still have a cause of death to find?
Mitch can help me.
Whoa. Did you just leave me the keys to the MCL castle?
No.
How's everybody doing?
Hey!
Good.
Okay, people, who can look at this fantastic actor in front of us and just wish he hadn't scratched that lottery ticket? Ricky, don't scratch it. But we'll get to that in a minute. First, we're going to talk about your show.
Yes.
Rosewood, in which you play a pathologist.
Yes.
And one might think that the show, you playing a pathologist, would be deadly serious and like all bloody and gory, but in fact, it's really fun and lighthearted and charming, and you're very debonair in it. So talk to me about the show.
Thank you. Well, I play a private pathologist in the city of Miami. I help solve cases with Jenny Lee Ortiz, who's from New York here, actually. And she plays a detective, so we solve cases together. And basically, it's a fun, witty show that where my character lives each day like it's his last day. He has a lot of health issues to where he could die at any minute, so he tries to help other people see the how to live in the moment.
And how did you come to do this?
I was doing another show I was doing a show that was on TNT, but it was produced by Fox. And we were going into our second season. It was a show called Legends with Sean Bean. And they sent me a script and said, listen, would you consider doing this show on Fox Network? And they said, if you want to, we can work it out so you can get out of Legends and come on to do this show. And I read the script, I loved it, so I said, definitely.
And I know that you've said that you wanted to play this specific character because you'd come off a string of more serious fare.
Right.
So
yeah, it was a time when I was actually doing a movie called When the Bow Breaks that's going to be out this September, and I had done The Best Man, to where I was crying. It was very emotional parts. And then the movie that I was doing at the time when they sent me the script, it was another serious part where it was very emotional, and I wanted to do something that was light, fun, and witty. And it was actually a perfect opportunity because I never wanted to do a TV show to where I had to come and be serious at work all the time and be emotional all the time. And this was a show that I can just kind of come and add a lot of wit and add a lot of humor, a lot of levity, as well as the one thing I like about our show is that it balances the humor and the wit with the serious drama. And this was a perfect part.
how much of you is in this character?
Because
having met you, I would say, like, there's a fair amount.
Well, what it is, there's parts of me in all the characters. It just depends on, say for instance, if I have to be very emotional, I have to pull that side of me out more for whatever character. This character, I have to be more witty and more humorous. And so there is a lot of me in this character.
And I gotta ask you, there's so many pictures of you sleeping on social media. What's up with that?
So many what? Oh, sleeping. Well, you know what? We work a minimum of 12-hour days, and so those days get very long. And I go to a gym before I go to work, so I'm up. Like if my call time is at 6:30, I'm normally in the gym by 4. So I wake up, I'm in the gym by 4, and then we can work anywhere from 6:30 to like 8, 9 o'clock at night. So Jenny Lee Ortiz has caught me a few times.
Yeah, she's posted some good ones.
Yeah, she got some good ones. I have some good ones too, though. I have some good ones on her.
You guys seem to have the best relationship. Is that all fake?
No, it's very genuine. I mean, we get along very well with each other. She's a great person. She's a great actress. And as a matter of fact, our whole cast, we did Todd Harthan, the creator and executive producer on the show. He did a great job of having the whole cast. Not only are they great actors on the show, but they're really great people. So we really do enjoy being around each other because we're around each other all the time. And it could take its toll if you're around someone that you don't really like, but we genuinely like each other, at least for the first season. Maybe
we'll
the third
season
season will be different, but for the first season we do.
When he comes back here in 2 years, he'll be like, oh man,
I'd be like, I can't. I gotta get
I'm
away. I
rescinding everything I said.
No, she's great. She's great.
When you guys were all cast in the very beginning, did you go? I mean, I'm always curious. When you have a cast this size, how do you bond? Do you go to a retreat? Do you go out to dinner? Like, what happens?
Right. Well, it's interesting because, okay, so I was shooting a movie when we got the part. And so the whole cast, they came out, basically the network has to do these table readings. And it can be a very trying time because people get fired after table readings. And so...
That's not stressful.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I was, as a matter of fact, I'll never forget, I shot that night. I was on this dark movie that I shot until like 2 o'clock in the morning. Then we had to, at like 9 o'clock, I had to be in this other character who I hadn't even prepared for. So we had a rehearsal, we had to run through, the whole cast flew out, and we had to run through. And then after the run through, our director of the show, he pulls me over to the side and basically said, you know what, I need you to pick it up. And so everyone else, that time, they went to lunch, and I kind of just went over the script, and we got it together. But that time when they came out, we all went to dinner and got to know each other a little bit better. And then a week after that, we were on the set, pretending like we knew each other for years.
And you're the number one on the call sheet. You're leading the show. What is that kind of responsibility like?
Oh, wow. The number one on the call sheet, it really is a huge responsibility because everyone on the set kind of takes your lead. Most of the time, you hear the stories of if someone is not really that great of a person and they're number one on the call sheet, it kind of can make the shooting experience kind of difficult. So I'm always open. I'm always communicating with people, talking to people, just having a good morale on set because it helps with the overall vibe and overall environment.
Especially if you want this to go long term, then
without
that
doubt.
really helps to enjoy your job.
Well, really, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, we're a set, minimum 12 hours a day, but so is the director, so is the cameraman, so is, the gaffer, the whole crew is. So we're pretty much, we're at work more than we are at home because you pretty much go home to sleep and then you get up and go back to work. And so it's very important to have great morale, great communication, a great environment to produce a good show.
And this character is very multifaceted. What part of him is the most difficult for you to play?
I think the medical jargon. The medical
I was
jargon.
going to add, that was actually going to be my next question. How the hell do you remember that?
It's very difficult, and I still don't remember it. Sometimes, it's funny because sometimes I will shoot a scene on, say for instance, I shoot a scene on a Tuesday, and there's so much dialogue and there's so much stuff that on Thursday, if you ask me what I shot on Tuesday, I don't remember because I'm on fumes. So it's the medical jargon is very difficult because not only do I have to understand how to pronounce the word correctly, but I also have to understand, or I like to understand, why I'm saying the word and what the word means. So most of the procedures, at one point, I know what they are, I know what they mean.
So you go home and you Google everything?
Well, no, basically luckily we have the writers, and the writers give us definitions, they give us the pronunciations of each word, and we also have a technical advisor during every episode because it's, I'm there, I'm taking someone's heart out, I'm taking someone's lung out. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. And at first, when I first started doing it, we had the first scene I was taking someone's lung out. I took his lung out and I took his liver out, and I was all delicate and fragile. And we had a real pathologist that was on set. He's like, "Oh no, just take it out." And he was handling it like it was a tennis ball, and he was. And he said, "That's what they do. They're just so desensitized to these organs in this person that's now deceased."
No, it's got to be so tough on these medical shows because not only do you have to memorize the jargon, but you have to reel it off as though we're having like a normal conversation, except it's CBC, Chem 7, scalpel, blah, 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 blah.
Right. But it gets very difficult at hour 10 at like 12 o'clock at night. It gets very difficult, but we pull it off.
So are you grossed out by the fake autopsies?
No, I can't say that I'm grossed out by them, but I have to say, I mean, I couldn't do a real one. Because at first I was like, it's just a dead. I mean, not a dead body, but it's a fake dead body. What could be the worst? But they put actual stuff that makes it feel like real blood, and the organs feel like real organs.
Do they really?
Yes, they do. And what happens is like when you see someone on our show that is alive, and then they're dead, they actually have an actual fake body that looks exactly like them. So I'm in the scene talking to them, and all of a sudden the next scene I'm doing and it gets kind of weird. It's a little weird. And when I'm feeling all the organs and the blood and the intestines. I couldn't do it for a living.
What organ is the grossest? What fake organ is the grossest to extract?
They are all gross, but I think it was I had to pull out a liver and I had to cut it open, and that wasn't a good day.
Do you have to learn really good knife skills for this?
Well, I want to look like I'm doing it correctly, so I'm on our technical advisor, and I'm asking him every single time. So is this how it's done? Or I asked him, I said, how would you do it? And he does it for me, and I try to do exactly the way he does it.
Man, I read a lot of mysteries, and I've always been just mystified by what you do, by pathologists, and why they choose to do what they do. Because wow,
it is. But see, the thing about pathologists is it's like solving mysteries, because they gather tissues and organs and they try to figure out what someone's disease was. So it's in that way it's very intellectually intriguing. Getting over the dead bodies, that's something that I would imagine a lot of people aren't able to get over, but some do.
And the finale is May 16th. What can you say about the remainder of the season?
The remainder of the season is a lot of fun. We have a new character. There was a new character that you guys just saw. His name is Mitchie, played by Sam Huntington. He does a great job. But there's a couple of hookups, and in the finale there's a couple of things. Jenna Lee Ortiz is she's a world-renowned salsa dancer. So for the finale, I had to go ahead and break out my salsa shoes, and I had to see how I compared. So you guys have to watch the finale and let me know how I did.
Wait. Are we talking Dancing with the Stars caliber?
Well, I don't like to talk about myself like that. No, but it was a lot of fun, because Todd, it was like it's really a lot of work. So he comes to me literally I think we had like 4 episodes left. He said, listen, I want to put this huge scene in the finale, this huge ball, and Jana's a world-renowned salsa dancer. She says, I want you to learn salsa with her. And I was like, man, I don't have the time. But then I thought about it. I was like, it would be kind of hot and be kind of fun and be kind of sexy for our 2 characters to do that. So I did it. You guys let me know how it is.
You got to do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do.
And your show is the lead into Empire, which is pretty much a power combo on Fox right now. Do you think, and I know that your show was created after Empire aired, do you think that Empire has really made a huge impact and opportunities for people of color?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I think that the impact that Empire has had on the networks and on network television, because at a time, people thought that networks televisions were losing so many viewers to other platforms, cable, Hulu, Netflix, all those types of platforms. But Empire shows that people are still watching network television. And there's such great performances on that show with Terrence, Taraji, all the characters on the show. They do a tremendous job. And the networks, I probably would not be here today talking about Rosewood were it not for the success of Empire. Also shows like Blackish, different shows on television.
And
Scandal.
I believe that Taraji calls you Dark Gable. Is that her?
Yeah, she's called me that. She's called me that in the past. We did a movie together a few years ago. Yeah.
I love that nickname. Sorry, I had to bring it up.
No, it's all good.
Had to make you blush.
No, it's all good. She's phenomenal.
And I know you got your start in one of the most groundbreaking films, I think, of all time. I think that's not hyperbole to say that. Boys in the Hood.
Yes. All right. Boys in the Hood fans. All right.
How did playing Ricky change your? He was really your first major role.
Ricky.
I swear, I bet none of you guys will ever rub off a lottery ticket again without thinking, what could go wrong? But
that was a tremendous experience for me. Looking back, it was a time where, and I had done a movie before. The only thing I had done in the union, I got my SAG card on the television version of Nightmare on Elm Street, which aired at like 2:00 in the morning. And then I got the call to go in and read for this movie, Boys in the Hood. And once I got it, it was exciting because I was in a movie. And me being from LA, I was a big Ice Cube fan. But really, at the time, Cuba worked a lot in the industry, but people didn't know who he was unless you were in the industry. And Fishburne, people knew who Fishburne was. But I was like, I'm going to lead in the movie. No one's going to see this movie. I'm just going to make the best of it. And here we are. I mean, it's like all these years later, and it still resonates with people.
At what point did you realize actually during filming how impactful this was going to be?
No, I had no idea. I was just on the set. It was funny. I was just on the set really trying to learn the industry. I was asking Cuba questions like every day because he had been in the industry a lot longer than I had. So every time I saw him, I would ask him a bunch of questions. And one time, our trailers were right next to each other. He came out his trailer, I came out my trailer, and he looked, he saw me, he went back in. I was asking him so many questions, and he's like, I just can't do it today, Mo. But yeah, no, I had no idea because what was interesting to me during that time is I grew up. I was born in South Central and raised not too far from there. And the thing that I heard from most people around the country is that they didn't know what was going on in LA at that time. When we were doing the movie, I was well aware of what was going on. It was like a daily occurrence. Those types of things were happening. So it wasn't anything new to me. But I didn't know that other people in the country didn't know that was going on.
And what do you make of the movie staying power? Because I mean, I assume you walk down the street and people call out Ricky.
Every day, almost every day.
Damn, I thought I was the first.
Everyone thinks there's a first. No, but the funny thing about it was, as a matter of fact, one of the characters on the show, we had been shooting Rosewood for about 8 months, and she had never seen the movie. The character plays is Anna, who plays TMI on the show, and she had never seen Boys in the Hood. So I guess one day she and her boyfriend watched Boys in the Hood, and we had worked together for 8 months. So she comes up to me one day. Normally when we come to work, we see each other, we give each other a hug. How was your night? How was your weekend? Whatever. Well, I gave her a hug, and then she didn't let go. And I was like, hey, Anna, you okay? She goes, oh my gosh, I saw the movie, poor baby. It's like, and we had been working together for like 8 months already. And she was like, I was like, oh, so you like the movie? She goes, oh, it was so sad. I was like, yeah, so the movie still resonated. And then even like an hour after that, we were about to start shooting another scene. She came up to me, she goes, oh, so she really felt it.
Of all the roles that you've played, which one is the closest to the real you, do you think?
Wow, the closest to the real me.
If we asked your wife.
If we asked my wife, wow, it's kind of hard to say. I would like to say, see, you know what? This is the thing. There are aspects of all of the characters that are me. Sometimes, I'm like Rosewood, but then sometimes I did a character on a show here that was one of my favorite characters. Played a character on Nurse Jackie, Dr. Prentice. Yeah, I love that character and I love that show. And some days, very rare, I'm like him. So it's really kind of hard to say because if you think about, as an actor, what you're taught is like you try to capture moments in your life and remember them. And so sometimes you're gonna have a good day as a human being. Sometimes you're gonna have a bad day. Sometimes you're gonna have a day where you just love everybody in the world. And sometimes you're gonna have a day where you hate everybody in the world. So you just really have to remember those times and just kind of really feel those moments so you can recreate them in front of the camera.
Do you know viscerally when you read a script that it's right for you?
No, I don't. I know sometimes when I feel the character resonates, but it's really kind of difficult to really. Sometimes you can read a script, and the overall script, really resonates. Sometimes you'll read the script and you'll love the character, but the script doesn't work. And sometimes you'll read the whole script, the script works, but the character that they want you to play doesn't work. So it really depends.
And let's talk about what you have coming up next.
Aside from the Rosewood finale, I have a movie coming out in September. It's called When the Bow Breaks. It's a thriller with myself and Regina Hall from Scary Movies and The Best Man that we're really excited about. It'll be out September 16th, I believe.
And then obviously we've got...
the finale of Rosewood, so you guys can all watch it and tell me how bad or how good my salsa dancing is.
What was actually the toughest part for you of learning to salsa dance? Because that is, to have to do that on short notice with a pro.
That was, that was a most challenging part because, say for instance, we did a scene in the movie, the Last Best Man movie, where we had to learn all this dance. And, Tay is a really good dancer. Harold's a classically trained dancer. But we're just dancing, doing our own thing. when I had to learn the salsa dance with Jaina, who has been salsa dancing since she was like 1, it was challenging. But I just really didn't want. I wanted to hold up my end of the bargain.
And you did. Or
I think
we have
I
to
did.
watch and
You have to
judge.
watch
We
and
have
see.
to
I
watch
think I
and
did.
judge.
I think I did.
And I have to end this by saying congratulations for having raised 2 adults who are. Can you believe this man has 2 college-age kids? I don't even understand.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my son is his first year in school right now. He's going to Colorado at Boulder, and then my daughter is a senior this year. She's going to Colorado next year as well.
Oh my God. How did you manage to raise kids in the industry and have them turn out normal?
Oh wow, it was a challenge, but my wife takes most of the credit. You know, she's really been there for them, and she's still there for them. And you know, we have our daughter. You know, we have a teenage daughter, so there's a lot of things that go on. It's very challenging being a teenage young lady, right? Right. And so you know, it gets to the point to where you know I used to always tell my wife is so emotional, and I say, well, listen, I'll be the bad guy, and you just be the person that can just listen to what they say and handle it well. But my wife gets so emotional every time she hears something. She comes to me, you know, very disappointed sometimes, and not disappointed, but very emotional because it's tough being a teenage. Our son was very easy, you know. These kids, boys, just go through life, just going through life, just not knowing what's happening. And but my daughter, you know, she's gone through like the teenage types of things, and we've been there for her, and she's turned out great.
And if you could give any advice to yourself when you were going to play Ricky, what would it be?
You know, as an actor, or just as a young actor, or as an actor playing that part?
As an actor.
As an actor, what would I have to do? What would I do? What advice? I think just what I did. I just really just learned. The one thing that I've noticed in Hollywood is that people, they get a part and they feel that they're De Niro. They feel like they're the best thing since sliced bread. But the way I feel as an actor, you're always learning. So just always continue to learn in front of the camera, outside the camera, and set etiquette and everything.
Great. And we have time for a question, please.
Hey, Morris.
How
Thanks
you
for
doing?
being here.
Nice to meet you.
Is there any medical team involved on the show, and do you get to ad-lib any lines on Rosewood?
Yeah, I ad-lib a lot of lines on the show. They hardly ever make it. But some do make it, and some of the ad-libs is creative, and some of the ad-libs just because I can't remember my lines. But Todd Harthan, the creator of the show, he definitely gives us an opportunity to bring our own flavor to it, and it gives it a sense of spontaneity. It gives the lines it gives the characters more authenticity. And yeah, we do. Yes, we do. They also have, when they're writing the scripts, they consult with certain doctors about the medical procedures and everything, even before it gets to me.
Next question, please.
Hello, 2 quick questions.
Oh,
One, hi, how
you
you doing?
How you doing?
One, would you happen to have a secret twin brother? And 2, what is next for you? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years, great question. No, I don't have a twin brother. But in 5 years, hopefully I'll be on the 6th season of Rosewood. But beyond that, I've been putting together a few projects to hopefully that I can produce and create projects for even young, up-and-coming actors. I think it's a great time right now to foster young talent. We have a lot of young talent out there that people don't get a chance to see. So right now I'm working on putting together a few projects in features and television.
And last question, please.
Hello, Morris. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I just wanted to let you know that my mom is a huge fan of yours.
Oh, okay.
And what she likes most about you is that you pick your roles, that you just don't play in anything just for the sake of playing in it. And I just wanted to give her a little shout out.
Okay, we'll tell your mother I said thank you. Thank you, Mama.
It is Mother's Day.
It's Mother's Day, so tell her I said thank you.
And
Thank you.
my question is, I know that being in the industry that, you know, agents and everything try and get their clients to go for the money, go for the money, go for the money. And my question to you is, how do you go about not burning out in such in an industry that's very, you know, like it gotta get done, it gotta get done, it gotta get done?
Right. Well, I'll be honest with you. Part of it is luck, and part of it is I've been fortunate to work enough and do enough things to where I haven't had to take certain projects. You know, there are things that I've been offered that didn't feel right, like they didn't resonate within me. So I've been fortunate to not have to take them. And I will say this in defense of most actors, and even when you see actors, directors, whomever in projects that you're like, well, why did they do that? It's a very, very, very difficult industry. You know, we have people from all over the world coming to Hollywood to make it. And so there are going to be times to where you may not want to do a project that you have to do to survive. You know, there are people, actors living in their cars, there are actors living on the streets in Hollywood. I don't know if you guys have ever been out there, but go down Sunset Boulevard, go down Hollywood Boulevard, and that's what you see. So I've been very fortunate, and I've been very fortunate to be able to be, you know, thanks to God, to be able to be in projects that people really respond to at the perfect time. So I've been fortunate on many levels, but you know, it's tough. It's tough out there in Hollywood.
And you can watch this fantastic show on Wednesdays right before Empire on Fox.
Right before Empire.
8 p.m.
8 a.m. 8
p.m.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. What?
I know, right?
I just said
8 p.m. I thought you said 8 a.m. 8 p.m. on Fox.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.